So I'm just going to show you quickly for a minute here. So just a little bit about us. We are a holding company. We are managed by a private equity firm, and we have a holding company with basically 10 divisions.
Okay.
We have Dre Hub, which is our drayage division, LTL Hub, which is our last mile. We have 3 asset-based over-the-road divisions, Team DGD that does only reefer, FTL Hub that does dry van, and then Logistics Hub that does flatbed. So we divide it. We mitigate our risk because of scale and because of insurance. We don't want to commingle our refrigerated trailers with our dry. As you can imagine, insurance only is getting harder to get, so we mitigate our risk by dividing our fleet by the type of mode of transport and also by the commodity and type of equipment we're using, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Everything is powered by our software called Truck Hub, so all 3 modes of transport I'm about to show you now is all powered by our TMS platform. So we really focus on not only being an asset-based trucking company or a warehouse provider, but also being a technology company. We have our own developers that are developing our software every day. And that software is being pushed onto our Truck Hub platform. So when I go to truckhub.io, after this call, just for purposes of us, being able to show you a real live software, I'll give you access to it where I could actually even do it right now. You could go right here and sign up yourself if you wish to, but I could do it for you. So when I sign in, I'm showing you now, and you could see the screen, right? No problem.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Perfect. So I'm showing you here my admin version. This is the admin version of Truck Hub. Our main view on the admin version is our map view. And when you go to truckloads, what you'll see is on the left-hand side, our dispatchers are seeing all their pending, active, or in-transit loads. On the right-hand side, you're seeing all our drivers. And then every driver has their current load as well as their itinerary and history of all the loads that they're currently doing.
When you say your drivers, can you expand on that? Like what do you mean by your drivers?
So these are company drivers. These are all Ryder or Penske leased vehicles. And these drivers are company drivers that are moving trucks nationwide for us.
They're company drivers, in other words, you can kind of tell them where to go. They don't get to pick the loads. I'm just trying to figure out how much control you have over. These are just regular company drivers, like any other asset based.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. I don't know if you can maybe put your mic up better, but.
Let's see, where's my volume on?
And let me make sure my mic is.
I just want to make sure that these are actual company drivers. In other words, you have control over what they're.
I could show you. I mean, these are my drivers. Now, control. That's an area we can't mandate any human being to do something they don't want to do. We have drivers that won't go into the Bronx, right? That's no. We're not going to mandate our drivers to do something they don't want to do. If a driver. I mean, we're all about safety and compliance here. So if a driver says, "Hey, look, I don't want to drive today. I don't feel good," or whatever, or, we have a whole safety team.
But they won't be asking. Okay, let's say we have freight going to Texas. They won't be saying, "No, I want more money to go to Texas," or "I don't want to go to Texas. I want to go to."
They don't mandate the way we bill or how we bill. But if a driver doesn't go to the Bronx, or if a driver needs to get home in a week,
of course,
and you want him to go to California, and he wants to be home in a week, and he can't do California. Our drivers are definitely our number one priority over our customers.
No, that's completely understandable. I just want to make sure that they were. I've met with carriers that say they control their drivers, or not control the drivers. They're drivers, and then I find out that they're really owner operators that kind of.
That we're not. We are a full asset based trucking company. And I'll show you our Dropbox. I mean, we have. All our trucks are leased by Ryder, and everything is managed by our internal leasing company. So no, I mean, owner operators we don't have. We're company drivers. And these are all our Ryder lease contracts. We lease all our trucks. That's my signature right there. But no, we do not mandate where our drivers want to go. If if they don't want to go to California because they want to come home, that see, so it's just, we could have an hour conversation about what exactly you're speaking of, but our driver's not going to tell us, hey, I don't want to move a load today for 80 cents a mile because I want to wait. The market's going to get better Friday and it's
Right.
Tuesday. I'll just sit here and wait. They're not doing that either.
Okay.
We have a good relationship with our drivers. We're on a heavy, another thing I can show you, my Indeed.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
Okay.
Jeff, so I got Willie on the phone, and he's with Costa, and I was just kind of we're just talking about drivers for a minute. So let me just finish this here for a minute, and then I will introduce you and let them know what you do and how you do it.
Okay.
Just give me one sec. So Willie, so like for example, I mean, we're spending $40,000-$50,000 a month driver recruiting. We have an office in Texas. We have an office in Greensboro, North Carolina. As you can see here, company driver. I mean, it's all on the internet. There's full transparency here.
Do you have drivers based out of North Carolina?
We do, yeah, absolutely. So we're paying drivers 60 cents a mile, $5,000 sign-on bonuses. Our business for sure is all about the driver. We want them to be very profitable. We want them to be happy. We want them to be making money. The driver will tell us, in this driver market, we do have drivers who can tell us, hey, you know what, I only want to be on the East Coast. Yes, we do see that. And if we have contracted rates only on the East Coast, we'll move them on the East Coast. So every driver is different. It is a driver market right now, but they are company drivers.
Yeah. Also, the information you get from your drivers is preset. In other words, which is fine. Some drivers only want to go up and down I-10. Some guys like to go up 95. But those things are understandable as long as you know that ahead of time and not during peak. Oh no, my guys no longer want to go to Texas. Which is not happening. I found that out, so that's good.
Yeah, for sure. And there's always insubordinate drivers. Even they were great. They're great with us for weeks, and they're having a bad day on the road, and that day's just a rough day. I mean, the driver market in general, it's a tough market to deal with on a daily basis. I mean, you're basically our recruiter's a psychologist as well as he's a recruiter. He's got to make sure that he's getting these guys back to their driving, their maximum driving capability. It's challenging for sure. But going back to our drivers.
Yeah, what you're saying is fine. It's just I want to make sure you were not a different model.
Right. Yeah. So going back to our drivers, inside of Truck Hub, we have all their employee contracts. We have their medical cards. We do a really good job of meeting all the DOT requirements for every driver. Everything is here in our digital platform. So our recruiting office is putting all this in here. We do use Simplex for third-party safety and compliance. So we have an extra layer because of the fact that insurance requirements are difficult, and we want to make sure that we're meeting the highest levels of DOT standards. So, we basically keep everything for the driver file in his driver repository.
Okay.
Going back to the driver and how the drivers operate on a daily basis, all our drivers are on a mobile app. It's called Truck Hub Driver, and it's found on the Android or Google Play Store.
Yeah,
and then basically their dispatch loads, and these loads are inputted into the system. And I'll give you an example of a driver right here, Yonelis. You'll have access to this in real time. So you can see everything that I'm showing you right now, but just on a non-editable version. So you'll be able to see his ELD hours. This is connected to Keep Trucking. So you can see in real time his ELD hours. So, if you have an agent in your office that is going to give us a load at 3 o'clock and the driver only has 6 hours, and we get to the facility to load and he's there for 4 hours,
right.
There's going to have to be a bunch of rescheduling done because we will not drive outside of the mandated ELD laws.
Yeah, we don't expect you to either, so that's good.
Right. And it's different working with direct shippers compared to brokers. Brokers try to squeeze our drivers or tell our dispatchers, hey, you're going to get fined. And we don't play those games. If driver's over hours or is running late due to an issue at the loading facility, those pickups and drop-offs are going to have to be rescheduled. So
all our loads are scheduled very, very conservative on single hours drive times. I mean, we're overly cautious on giving the driver plenty of time to get to the stops.
That's good.
that there are times where we'll have priority loads where we'll notify the carrier to see if they have a driver with fresh hours or team drivers or what have you,
Right.
and we make those declarations ahead of time, so we know, hey, we need a guy with an empty slate, right?
Of course. No, and
but-
that's complete. It's all about communication. But the good thing about us and the way we operate, and you know, we're heavily predominant right now in the spot market because the rates are so high.
Right.
The reason why we reached out to you guys and we're reaching out, like I'm going to be spending the whole month in New York speaking to our customers in New York that we can get onto contract rates with, is that, you know, the market right now, every direct shipper will communicate directly with the driver of our fleet size, and it's harder when the rates are really low and the spot market's better than the contract market. So, you know, we're just trying to get ahead of it now, and we want to build relationships directly with customers and get out of the spot market, because it's not going to always be the way it is today.
It's
We'd
cyclical.
rather
It
build
happens.
relationships now and make concessions now in order to build a relationship. So going back to the
2018.
software, which
2018 led to 2019 and 2020, right? So the same thing.
Right. So going back to the software, what's great about our software is that you're not only getting access to our software here, you're also going to get by email every time there's a status change. Your agents will get an automatic email where they're going to see in yellow a status change, and they just have to click on the link, and it's an open source link where they don't even have to log into the platform.
Gotcha.
You can think about this as a Google Drive document that you send, and it's open. It doesn't have rates, it doesn't have documentation, but it does have status, and it does have basic information on the load. So if you have agents in your office that are not very computer savvy, and I can show you how we do it here, like we can go share this page, you copy the link, and you can just put the link on any web browser, and it will give you an open link to that shipment without the attachments that you would have access to if you actually log in.
Well, this also on the refrigerator side, will it give you temperature inside the box as well, or
So
is it
no. I mean, we right now use Keep Trucking, and we use Samsara as well. We haven't had any customers ask us for an API with their temperature reader. If you have temperature readers inside of your freight,
we do now. We do have disposable ones, but those are 2G capability, and that's going away within the next 12 months or so. So we're looking for other options. So if we have carriers that have their own, for example, Prime, we use Prime as one of our carriers, and they give us access to their temperature readers, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, we do have Samsara. I've never had a customer ask us for access, but something we can definitely look at a later date, for sure.
Because when we get to the store, sometimes product might not look as fresh just because it's been a few days, and so the buyer will call us and ask us if there's any kind of issues with the refrigerator unit, and just be able to have that to get back to them and say, look, no, it's been running at 65 the whole time. It gives us a lot of clarity on the issue.
Yeah, we can definitely look at that. So the great thing about what we're trying to do is that we're trying to eliminate the communication by phone and by email that's manual. So at every given time in the transportation system from A to B, or in your case probably A to like Z, because I know you guys do a lot of stops, you'll be able to log in and get a real date and timestamp of where the driver is. You'll be able to get a real city and state of where the driver is, and you'll know exactly the ELD hours that he has left.
Perfect.
So for us, the way we're able to be more efficient is by doing less manually, and that's what we're ultimately trying to push. Where, you know, we train you, we help you get onto the platform, which is super easy, and then from there, everything's here, even our billing and our contacts. So anytime we do a lumper, it's automated through here, and you get an email. So for example, if our agent does a lumper at any stop, an automatic email occurs, and it lets you know that there's a lumper and what the lumper fee would be.
And we
And
can
even
give you
takes
different emails.
pictures of, it takes pictures, the driver takes pictures, and you get an uploaded picture of the lumper in real time.
If we move forward this, we can actually assign different email contacts for each things. For example, the transit information would go to our in-transit email, and the lumper would go to another department that handles any kind of overages or what have you on the invoicing. So you can actually split that up, or does it have to be?
No. So we could add as many emails as you want, but it wouldn't be able to read that lumpers only got to go to a certain email. We could put as many contacts here, and every contact that we put here would get status updates throughout the process, but there's no way to split contacts.
Okay.
So if we would put ABC at Costa Farms and three in your email, you'd get the entire emails that would come from this shipment. So if we would look at this shipment right here, and we would go into your Outlook. You would have, so this is how the typical process works. This is the digital bill of lading, the initial shipment that we converted from a manual document into now a digital document. Here is the upload of the rate confirmation. And here's the update that the driver's in transit to Gifford's ice cream.
Gotcha.
And once he gets to Gifford's, it would change to add destination.
Gotcha.
So every time that there's an upload or there's any change in the process, you get an email notification. And everybody that's in this email for this specific shipment will get that notification. The other thing is that at any time, once a shipment's completed, you'll get an email with an invoice, but you also can always go into this shipment. You can always go into this shipment and open up the invoice, and the rate confirmation in the invoice would be right here. So there's no need, even though we still do emails because that's where predominantly everybody likes to be.
Yeah, I mean everything we do is through the TMS. It's all through EDI anyway. So
yeah, perfect. So we can connect you to whatever TMS platform you have. We can connect with that, and we can automate this whole process for you.
Right.
The other thing that we do every day, we do it 4 times a day, is what we call a check call. So we go into manually, because the drivers can be insubordinate and because drivers can get off routes and take a little bit longer than we'd like. We do a check call every 4 hours, and we document these check calls. And the check call, we actually send you 4 times a day automatic emails manually. It's a manual check call, but the email is automated, where you would get a update of where that driver is compared to where we think he should be.
Okay.
So the check call happens as well. The other thing that we do,
and we can actually opt out of certain things. I'm just thinking that might be a little.
Of course, yeah. So like I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna log in as a customer right now. So you can see. I'm gonna sign in as C.H. Robinson, and you go here to settings. Sorry.
Just at home this spring, we're going to do probably about 13,000 loads in 3 months.
Yeah.
Out of
so
South.
right here, I'm inside of a customer in Robinson. I can opt out of anything I want. I can change passwords. So that was the next step, is to show you what exactly you would see. So when you go to your shipments right here, you would see a board, and it would only show you the active shipments that you're handling. Yes. And then if you ever wanted to see what we've already completed, you can go here, and you have all your active shipments here. Okay. And you have statuses, and you have all the real-time bill of ladings all input into the system. Now, obviously, if you have an API that we can connect to, we can just do, or an EDI, we can connect to you directly and push all this data, and you never even have to log into our platform ever. Right. Unfortunately, most of our customers don't have much technology, so this is a way for them to have a basic TMS in order to manage their day-to-day operations.
Good. Okay. Perfect.
The other thing that we're able to do here is that you could request a quote. So if you wanted to, let's say, do a shipment from Miami, Florida to New York, for example, you can, oh, well, she's already out of quotes. I got to change that. But you could actually, let me log out and log in as somebody else.
That'll be for anything that's not, so the way we would work with any asset-based carriers, we would request an RFP, which would give us your pricing in springtime and off season based on the areas you want to service, right? So that's, we put that into our system, and whenever loads come out, it's automatically tendered and automatically accepted by your office.
Of course. No, what I was saying was if for whatever reason you're in a situation where
Extra capacity.
it's an extra capacity or something that's outside of the RFP, we can actually give you a rate directly from our platform. And I can show you, and it's all connected with DAT. So at least it's not an exact rate because it's an estimate, but you can have an idea what DAT 15-day, 7-day averages are. And then you can compare that to what we actually quote you. So I'll show you an example here. Like I can go.
If you give me a quote, will you guarantee me a truck for that, or is that?
No. So it's just a quoting platform. It's not a guarantee that we're going to book capacity. We still have to approve the lane. So this is completely transactional. So it's still spot. All you're doing is getting an idea of where the market is without having to maybe go to DAT.
Yeah, it's informational, so we can see where the market's moving. Understood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I'll give you an example here. So Miami, New York right now, one way. So Miami, New York, DAT says it's 3,908.13. That's basically where we're at. Now we might say no, we're going to do it for 2,200. We ultimately have to put the rate, and then you can go ahead and approve the rate or not approve the rate in your platform if you wish to do that. Now we have customers, I would tell you 90% of customers just send us an email and don't care about what the DAT 7-day and 15-day moving average is. But we do have that capability of knowing, and our agents are seeing this. So if they're trying to charge $6,000 for the load, you kind of have to ask yourself why you're doing that. How are you getting to that rate? So
well, we keep our fingers on the pulse of the DAT as well on a daily basis here. So we kind of
perfect. Yeah. So this is an API with DAT. So basically all we're doing is making sure that those customers that don't have access to DAT would be able to get a quote or have an idea of what the market rate is at any time. And this is what it would look like here.
I got 2 minutes left. I have a 10:30 call, so I don't know if you want to do something else. I think we only have
that'll be. I mean, for today, that's fine. I mean, I just wanted to really show you this, and obviously now allow you to feel comfortable that we're an asset-based carrier.